What's up, everybody? You know what time it is. Friday night from the forum, and tonight it's mock draft season. We got your standard redraft league: one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, a tight end, and two flex, kicker and defense. We're running wild. I got a crew in the house. Hope you're ready. Let's get to drafting. What's up? What's up, everybody? I got a crew. Got my guy Brian, my guy Dan, and then Hype, the one and only Greg in the house. How's it going, fellas?
Good, man. How are you?
Man, ready to draft. As you guys know, it is mock draft season. I know you've been in it. I've already done a few drafts, but my home league, the one that happens every year that's been going on for like 15 years. That draft's coming up mid-August and everybody's already talking smack. Everybody's already like pumped and ready to go. I'm hosting this year, so they've already told me that I need to make spaces for like air mattresses and for people to pass out in random places. So we're looking at a good time. But as you guys know, that's kind of the deal, right? Like we started playing fantasy with our friends and it all started with like the standard league. One quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, a tight end, two flex, and then a kicker and a defense. Despite, I know, Brian, I know you've been an advocate for getting rid of the kicker and the defense, but this is the way we all started. What's your thoughts, man?
It's just not happening. I've been trying for my home league every single year since essentially the inception of the league. It's just not going to happen. My wife's in that league. I've got several friends that just they think that they have such an X factor when they get to put in a kicker and a defense every week. I swear they do more research on kickers than they actually do for other positions. So it's here to stay. I'm just embracing it at this point.
Hey, man, I don't know about you, but I've had kickers win me some.
I'm not saying it hasn't happened to me, but when it happens against me, oh, I'm tore up. I'm not happy at all.
Oh, that's funny. We got some people in the chat. Chris, how's everyone tonight? Doing good. Chris, thanks for tuning in. Jacob, nothing better than your home league. Man, ain't that the truth? Ain't nothing better than the home league. Mad Scientist, fun fact of the evening. If you miss vodka and weed, you forget how much you hate Patrick Mahomes. Just kidding, he still sucks. Got a little hate in there. A little bit of passive aggressiveness towards old Patrick Mahomes. Ghostmaker, what's up, fellas? Southern Dad, kickers are awesome. We do have a shirt in our shop. That's fsan.shop that says kickers are fantasy players too. And Brian, they are, okay? They are. Nothing like seeing people stress over a kicker to stream. All right, so you guys know tonight we're digging into a mock draft. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the board. We've got a slew of actual people in this draft. These are actually analysts from different channels. We've got RotoWire. We've got football guys. We've got, just tons of people that have different YouTube shows, content, the Fantasy Football Show, and of course, FF Advice Network in the chat. The Fantasy Advantage Hype, that's your channel. Just Thank a ton of people represented in this draft. And we wanted to make sure it's that way so that you could see how draft picks may actually fall. You hate watching mocks with the drafts that just like where they're just auto drafting. So these are real people actually in the draft. And we're going to be breaking down these picks as we go. It's going to be a night. Ride with us. You're going to get some goodness. You're going to get some gems, especially as we get late into the draft and the waters start to get murky. I know you felt it. Like it feels like round maybe 9 to 13, it really starts to get murky. Maybe that's a little bit later in a 10-man, but yeah, we're gonna have a good one. So Dan, when you enter into your draft season in this standard format, what's like your normal go-to strategy, especially picking from the middle of the draft?
Well, the reason I love the middle of the draft is because I want to pick from value. That's it. Because right now, what you have here with two wide receivers, two running backs, two flexes, it means there's not any one extra value at any one position, right? Like when you play in a lot of these industry leagues, a lot of it's 3 receivers. Receivers are going to fly off the board. If you're still playing in grandpop, Joe Schmo league from the 80s, you might have 4 running backs. I don't know. But all I'm saying is that it doesn't actually lean towards one position or another. You can kind of just pick from value and see how the draft falls to you. So that's what I really love to do. That's why I pick in the middle. Plus, I'm not really that enthralled with like the top 4 picks this year. I don't think there's a big tier gap necessarily from the top guys to the guys in the middle. So I kind of like being there for the value this season.
You got some people. There's value at wide receiver. You got Monty ready to draft boys. And then some more comments on the defensive and kickers. Hype. I know you're a running back guy. You're sitting there at the 3rd overall pick. Is this what's your typical process going in that early of a pick in your redraft?
It's kind of the same idea, letting the draft come to me. It's in that top 3, it's usually best player available. Who do you want? Wide receiver or running back? 9 times out of 10, lately I've been going back to running back. I've been the last, 2-3 years, I've done like wide receiver heavy, but running backs seem to be making a comeback. And I think it's hard for me to pass up on any of the top 3 options there.
We got Jacob there saying, what spot or area is best this year? Early, mid, or late? Snake draft, of course. Brian, what's your thoughts? Where do you want to be at?
I guess if it's just any old league, like in a vacuum, I would say right in the middle. Like kind of Dan was saying, you have probably the best opportunity to take value that's coming to you. But when I'm in my home league, my league mates know it. I like being on the turn. I like being able to take whatever value's there and then reach for the guy that I want, because most likely it's not going to fall the way I want it to, just because like you can mock draft all day long. I have never seen a mock draft that I've done that's come out close to what my actual league, like my home league draft turns into. So yeah, give me the end. Let me go ahead and pick my own chaos so I don't have to sit there and tilt every, right there from that 4, 5, 6 or wherever you might be.
There's comfort in being able to reach. I just want to throw that. There's comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you.
You got Matthew saying, agree with letting the draft flow. Got to think quickly and react effectively. I am a BPA guy, but we'll see how this draft goes. So we're going to get this thing kicked off. And Brian, you get the luxury of having the 1-1, the most important pick, because if you don't hit, it can hurt. So we're going to get this thing rolling. And you are on the clock, Brian.
Well, as the NFL draft goes, I'm going to take my full clock allotment time here. Maybe somebody wants to throw a trade my way. No, I'm just going to go ahead and grab it here. Give me the running back here early. It's 10-man league. I want to grab that position early, especially if I'm treating this like a home league. So I'm going to take a running back early. Give me Bijan to start off this draft.
All right, Jamar Chase goes. So Bijan Robinson goes first. Jamar Chase goes second. And Hype, you are on the clock. I think that's a given. Those are typically 1, 2.
Yeah.
Who's 3?
This is what I was saying. It's kind of a toss up here. Honestly, it's hard to not take Jefferson. I get it, but with the hamstring and feeling like running backs are the way to go, I'm just gonna take. I'm gonna go Jahmyr Gibbs.
Ooh, Jahmyr Gibbs at the 1-3, and Coach Chase G is on the clock. So Gibbs, why do you like him in a shared backfield over somebody like, let's say, Saquon?
Gibbs just has so much versatility. Saquon has barely anything in the passing game, at least what was shown last year. It's not a part of the plan for the Eagles offense, and Gibbs does both things amazing. And even though he shared with Montgomery, he still looks like the RB2 in PPR. There's just you're locking and loading with Gibbs every week. You have nothing to worry about with him.
Well, there you go. Saquon goes at the 1.4 right after Gibbs, right after Hype takes his guy. Dan on the clock, and you take Ashton Genty.
Really?
Look at this running back that's happening.
Is that
early.
the fan bias right there, Dan? No CMC for me?
Well, first of all, if you're taking CMC in the first round, you're a gambler on a whole other level than I am. Okay, like I love that he's looking explosive. I love that he's looking healthy. I hope it's for my team, but I'm not taking him unless it's the second round pick. For me personally, Ashton Genty's walking into a situation where Chip Kelly, you can trust him to do one thing. and one thing only, and that's feature the running back. I don't know what he's going to do with the passing game. I don't even Brock Bowers gives me a little, I don't know, because Chip Kelly's system is all within 5 yards, but he's going to get the ball to the running back. Ashton Genty, people got swept away in the idea of like what he was as a runner in Boise State his last season. But look 2 years ago when he was lights out as a receiver. They are going to get him involved. He is going to have the opportunity to be this year's Saquon Barkley in the sense of total opportunities. Okay. Like he's not going to have that offensive line. He's not going to have the same offense, right? But total opportunities. He's going to be a dog. You got Raheem Mostert behind you. Like all ships are up. This offense is flowing through Ashton Genty, and he's a rookie. He's a young running back. I'm not as concerned about him getting injured like I am about Saquon coming off of 400 touches or CMC with the Achilles issue.
It's a valid point. If you want to take the risk, take the risk. Rookie running back for Dan Mater there. Matt goes with Justin Jefferson, and then off the clock goes CeeDee Lamb. Top 3 receivers essentially off the board quickly. It comes to me at the 1-8. And, Dan, you said it. I'm going to be a gambling man. I feel like I've got another year. I've got his jersey on my wall back here.
Treylon Burks. Come on down.
No, not that one. We're going to take Christian McCaffrey right here. This is a PPR, and running backs that are going to live in that PPR world, to me, like especially as a pass catcher, in San Francisco having minimal pass catchers, in their actual offense. They've got, Pearsall's started out on the PUP list. Ayuk's still not back. I think that CMC and Kittle are going to tear it up. And so I feel pretty good about that. I want to take him there, especially in a PPR format. And it looks like, depending on how it falls, it's probably going to be a hero running back world for me. So next on the clock, we got the 1-9, GB Chris taking his pick. Who is going to go after Montgomery? Joe in the chat smells like a goat in here. CMC feels about as high as I would go. CMC there at the 1-8 feels about as high as he would go. Got Matthew. I like the pick. And then at the 1-9 goes Amon-Ra St. Brown. And we got Johnny Main at the turn. And he takes Derrick Henry at the 1-10, followed up with the first pick of the second round, which is Malik Neighbors. I've seen Malik fall recently. Why? Why is he falling?
Toe injury.
The toe.
No, it's Russell Wilson. It's not the toe.
Come on, Russell's better than Danny Cutlets. Come on.
Yeah, everyone he had last year.
Danny Cutlets.
He's better. Russ is better than everyone last year he had.
Talented wise, absolutely 100%. But what Russell Wilson likes to try to do is he likes to try to prove that he still has the Wolverine ball and the moon ball to go with it. It's why I think he actually, surprisingly, I think we're going to see Darius Slayton a little bit more involved than we all expect, right? Like Malik Neighbors is still going to get his. I'm not trying to, don't get me twisted here or anything like that. But he feeds off Daboll's system of target me over the middle, hit me with the slants over and over again. Russell Wilson's going to want to throw to the outside. And if they have any chance of winning games, and I'm not saying they do, Wilson can't throw the ball 40 times. They have to find ways to keep him around that 28 to 30 mark. It's going to be a little bit less volume, I think. The Giants' defense is going to be a lot better this year.
Till famous Jameis gets his booty out there on the field. Come on, man. Have some faith.
Going down the field like you just don't care.
No fear.
So we got Malik Neighbors 2-1. Josh Jacobs goes at the 2-2. Got a couple people in the chat. Henry at 10 is bold. Amon-Ra at the 1-9 is a mistake. Look, share your feelings. Ask the questions. Call me crazy, but keep sleeping on Jacobs. Jacobs surprised a lot of people last year. And then in my first opinion, 12 through 14 picks or so, you really can't argue with. I agree. I mean, it's always going to be this window of people. So for me, I'm going to shift my focus now at this pick to wide receiver. And I'm going to go with the wide receiver 4 from last year that I think is still going to catch a ton of deep balls. And I'm going to go with BTJ at this point.
Nice.
Thank you. Look at that. Yeah, a little compliment, a little nice.
Very solid pick. I can't really argue with it. Higher, lower, that's about where you should go.
Yeah, no,
Gotta
I
love a
agree.
10-team league. Look at that. CMC and BTJ to start it off.
I
Nothing but
know.
5 letters, but you know what? It's 5 good letters right there.
Mhm.
I
You
need
think
to
we can
play.
get
I need to
drafted out
play
yet,
more
Tom?
10-team leagues.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the abbreviation squad.
Russ has crazy career accuracy on deep balls. Look it up. I agree. I think Malik could have a huge season. Right there, buy sell you takes at the 2-4 Puka Nakua. And
Oh, there
following
goes
that, Matt
A-Chan.
takes Devon A-Chain, the boom or bust. Either it's going to be incredible or it's going to be injury ridden.
Mhm.
You know, Dan, you're up on the clock next. Did he snipe you or did you have somebody else in mind here?
Oh, he sniped me. I was gonna go back to back with Genti and Achan. That was completely 100% my plan there. Because I wanted to, PPR league, 2 running backs. We're gonna get targets like crazy. Yeah, absolutely love the pick for Devon Achan in the second round. So instead, I'm just going to pivot. I'm going to play it safe with a guy that I know is going to get targeted like crazy, with a guy who is on his way to being second to Jamar Chase before his injury, and that was Nico Collins.
Ooh, Nico. I love it.
Mhm.
Nico's one of those, like, weirdly enough, he kind of gets underrated. He's kind of like Mike Evans. Like, Mike Evans just slowly falls down the draft. Nico's that guy. Despite the production, he just kind of slowly moves down the rankings. I think this is the highest he's been drafted, but it doesn't, I don't know if it feels like it's high enough. I got Coach Chase on the clock. So Nico goes at 2-6. We got Matt in the chat. Roll the dice, baby. And Chris, Puka makes me nervous. And then Coach Chase takes the first tight end in the draft. This is not a tight end premium. This is a PPR format, standard league. And Brock Bowers goes at the 2-7. Tell me about it. Is that where it is in no tight end bonus? Are we that early on Bowers with the Geno Smith quarterback?
I definitely don't think I am. I think that he's in a tier with 2 other guys that I'd probably rather take the cheapest one at ADP, that being George Kittle. I get the position scarcity in a 10-man league, getting that edge at tight end, but we are working with the double flex here that adds just a little bit more to the possession of having a running back and a wide receiver. So me personally, if I don't get Kittle here somewhere in like the 4th, 5th, probably closer to I guess 10-man league, so probably closer to 5-6. I'm probably punting the position just because I'd rather load up on some of these running backs.
All right, and hype is on the clock.
Yeah, I kind of wanted Nico to get to me. I've been a big Nico thumper since he was drafted. I got the receipts to prove it. He's a big guy that I've really, really liked for a long time. Was so happy that he finally got somewhere these last year and a half. But I think I'm just gonna double down on running back here, and I'm gonna go with Bucky Irving. A lot of people are trying to fade him, and I just don't understand why. He's the guy that they want to premiere in that team. Look at must win. Look at the must win games last year, the last couple of weeks, and the playoff game. Rashad White got 1 touch. Irving's the guy they want to focus that running game through. So I can't say no to getting him late second.
Yeah, I like the pick. So 2-8 goes Bucky Irving. Drake London goes at the 2-9. And Matt in the chat says, I'm a fader on Bucky Irving. And then Brian on the clock, back-to-back picks. First, you go A.J. Brown at the 2-10. Let us know why and who is the first pick of the 3rd round.
I mean, A.J. Brown, I was happy with any of these wide receivers that fall, whether it be Nico, London, Brown. PPR, I could have made that argument for McConkey here, but I love that he fell to me. The Eagles ran at just an absurd rate last year. We have to see some more passing. It's a harder schedule for him, so a lot of that's baked into it. And AJ Brown is just absolutely amazing when he's out there on the field. So glad to grab him as my first wide receiver, and then running back Chase Brown's going to be my guy. I have him over Bucky Irving. I have him over Josh Jacobs, and this being a PPR league, a horrible defense. I know they got Shamar Stewart finally signed today, but I think he should just absolutely feast in the passing game.
All right, so Chase Brown goes to the 3-1. Matt saying in the chat, I love Chase Brown this year. He's got a lot of possibility there. Jonathan Taylor goes at the 3-2, and hype, you're back on the clock. 3rd pick of the 3rd round. Got 2 running backs on your roster already. Where do you go here?
Well, I would like to do receiver, but there's not a lot of guys that I like right here. So something that I don't normally do as often, that I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna pull the trigger on is going tight end. I'm gonna grab Trey McBride here.
I thought you were going to give up your pick. I was like, that's a good call there, buddy. Come on.
No, no, I'm not usually an early tight end guy. But it's hard to resist getting Trey, especially when he just seems like the best value at that pick right there. I don't love any of the receivers. I'm not huge on McConkey this year. No hate on his talent, just the way that the
Same.
offense is built. I just don't. I don't love it. I think his cost is just a little too much this year.
So Trey McBride at the 3-3, second tight end off the board. And Coach Chase G is on the clock at the 3-4, and he takes Tyreek Hill, who I have seen fall down into the 5th and 6th rounds in these drafts. Dan, are you? I mean, you're up next. So, kind of tell us: are you in on Tyreek? Like, can you think he can have a comeback year this year? And then let us know who you're picking here at the 3-5.
Are the Dolphins in on Tyreek? Did you guys see the Tua conversation there where he's pretty much just like, yo, this dude needs to earn back the trust of the team, like, and almost blatantly like that. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that a wrist injury makes you not be able to run, and that's kind of what we saw with Tyreek Hill last season. The good news is Jonnu Smith's out of there, right? So it goes back to target funnel to the wide receivers. I'm willing to take Tyreek Hill in the 4th round. I don't think I'm willing to take him in the 3rd round just because you're betting on a guy who might be at that age cliff. Now, as far as I go here, I'm kind of with you guys where I'm in the in-between tier here, where I think the best values in the 3rd round are still the running back and wide receiver positions, but I don't think there's much separation between like a Ladd McConkey, a Garrett Wilson. I'm looking at a Kyron Williams. I'm and I want to say my next pick, so I'm hoping he falls me in the 4th round. But
no, come on, help the folks out, Dan.
There's sharks in this one, Dan. I don't know if it's gonna happen.
We'll see. I'm gonna go with Ladd McConkey though. I'm big on the Chargers offense this season, especially in PPR leagues. Ladd McConkey is going to be a really good target all the way through, and I think having a guy like Trey Harris on the outside is actually going to help out because now you have a 3rd level deep threat that actually opens up that 2nd level, which is where McConkey's just going to live, right? And it's going to go right there. So I've been talking about Justin Herbert, who I'm also a little bit higher on ADP. All they had to do after their bye week from week 5 was start throwing the ball 32 times a game, which, by the way, is like the league average to throw the ball 32 times a game. Ladd McConkey was a wide receiver 1. Justin Herbert was a quarterback 1. So all I need to do is throw the average amount of times, Greg Roman, and I'm going to get top 12 performances out of Ladd McConkey every game.
I like the Ladd McConkey pick. We had a big talk about it the other night on the IBT show, and I think he's going to continue. I think that last year, even if he does 100 yards less and 1 touchdown less, you're still going, oh, I'm really happy with that performance out of a 3rd round pick. I got Josh Allen going at the 3-6, first quarterback off the board. Now for scoring, these are standard 4-point passing touchdowns, 6-point rushing touchdowns in your standard draft format. So, these running quarterbacks have a slight edge. So I can see Josh Allen going there early at the 3-6. The 3-7 goes Garrett Wilson, and I am on the clock at the 3-8. And this is where everything doesn't pan out. Like, I'm secretly hoping there that Ladd McConkey just falls like 3 more picks there, Dan. So you ruined me on that.
You have to take JSN. Look at your team. Nothing but acronyms there. Come on, man.
I don't have to. I can't look. That's a tough one for me. I can't get behind the JSN, and that's strongly based on the quarterback. But I'm going to go ahead and pick in my opinion, what's going to be the wide receiver 1. And I never take tight ends this early. But I think the separation at the position can create a roster level advantage for me, especially because I feel like I can get running backs and wide receivers a little bit late. So I'm going to take George Kittle here at the 3-8. Really out of character for me, but I think that he's just going to be 5 to 7 points better than the rest through the season.
Trust you get through the turn.
I thought I was a 49ers fan here.
Right.
Yeah, you've got all Niners, man. 2/3
All right.
team is Niners. Yeah.
This is PPR. PPR, and then Chris snipe me. You're welcome for that.
Looks
You're
like
on
he
the
would have
clock,
got through the
buddy.
turn.
I wanted to touch on Tyreek Hill really fast because I'm a nerd, and I've done a video on him earlier this year, and something talking about the wrist. I don't think it was just a wrist thing for him. He had like a lower separation rate and single coverage, a lower deep target rate, and a higher contested target rate, which I think all suggests that he's starting to lose a step. And as sucky as that is, because I do love Tyreek Hill, I have nothing against him. I think like he's starting to get to that time in his career where the age is catching up and the speed starting to drop, and his career's based on his speed, and he's losing that, and it's not a good look.
Ooh,
Well,
double tap.
I'll add this to this real quick. Dolphins have talked about they want to get the ball out of Tua's hands faster, which blew my mind because he was already by far the lowest time to release quarterback in the NFL last. So if it gets any faster, what's he doing? Jet passes? Like, I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. So that doesn't bode well for Tyreek Hill either, because if that's going to be the case, now you're asking for a lot of screens, a lot of yards after catch, which doesn't bode well for receivers who are aging.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, how much faster can he get too? He's just going to swat the ball like as soon as it gets in his hand. I don't know how much faster you can go.
So you got Jackson Smith and Jigba goes at the 3-9, Breece Hall at the 3-10. Going into the fourth round, we got Amari and Hampton going at the 4-1, and he continues to climb. The Najee news obviously is helping that grow. And we got Chris back up at the 4-2. Who's it going to be, Chris? Let's see. Guys in chat, Matt, I love the Kittle pick. I was hoping he would fall. Keep dreaming, brother.
Yeah, Kittle was a good pick. He's going to be insane this year.
BHS Cardinal loving the analysis on the show. You know, it is fun that these players are getting broken down, and I think it's going to be even more interesting as we continue to get deeper, you know, into this draft. So hang in there. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the sub. And Chris, laboring over the pick goes with Kyron Williams, and I'm sniped again. Not that I love Kyron, but I liked Kyron at the value there.
Oh yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna go crazy again. I'm like, I don't know. This is just one of those nights where I'm kind of a little bit off the rocker. I'm drinking whiskey and Red Bull. So we're gonna do it.
It's 10:30. Red Bull is not the drink of choice.
And I'm gonna go for the well, actually, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna pivot in my own head. It's PPR. I'm gonna take Alvin Kamara right here at the 4-3. He's gonna have a rookie. He's gonna have people doing dump offs, and he, you know, outside of Olave, you know, they're going to need help, and I think he just gets fed.
Yeah, Kamara's the best value you'll ever get him this year. I love him. I'm not trying to say too much. I love Kamara. His value's insane.
I do want to make like a little joke because Tyler's taking like everybody who's like borderline age clips except for PTR. Right. But at the same time, like I love the value for Alvin Kamara. Like I had a video already on like why is Kamara going at the running back 18 when his lowest year ever was the running back 16. And I don't care if it's Shuck, I don't care if it's Rattler. God help me if it's Jake Hayner. But either way, when you break it down, it's check down. It's check down all day. PPR,
check down.
Targets are going to be there for Kamara.
Yeah.
Hayner got first team reps today just to throw that chaos out there.
I know, which is why I brought it up.
Gross.
My mind.
Gross.
That's disgusting.
Oh, the guy wanted fell. Oh, thank you.
Oh, Kenneth. So let me go through this real quick. So at the Kamara goes 4-3, Marvin Harrison Jr. goes 4-4, and buy and sell you is setting it up, going 0 RBs, got 4 receivers right off top. Lamb, Nakua, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison. Great roster build so far. T. Higgins goes to the 4-5 to Matt from Football Guys. And then Dan, your guy fell, Kenneth Walker. Tell me why you're about it, especially when I've already seen a few little things here and there about banged up and not banged up, and, you know, the typical Kenneth Walker narrative.
Look, maybe he misses 3 games. I don't really care. So Kenneth Walker in bad offensive systems, not conducive for running games under Ryan Grubb. And we all know Shane Waldron's a moron based on what we got to see on the inside of Chicago. Still had explosive games that would literally win you weeks. He's great at one cut north-south zone running, which is exactly what Kubiak's going to be bringing to the table. It's Shanahan's running scheme for Kenneth Walker with his kind of explosiveness, with a better offensive line after they invested it in the draft in the offseason this past year. And it's Sam Darnold. They didn't bring Sam Darnold in to throw the ball 35, 40 times. They brought him in hoping we can keep it 28 maybe. Well, focus on the running game, focus on play action. There's a reason, as much as I like Zach Charbonnet, there's a reason why he's never been able to overtake Kenneth Walker. He doesn't have the special factor that Walker has. This system is set up beautifully for this guy. And like I said, Kubiak, I'm just a huge fan of. The system fits. Kenneth Walker is going to rake the coals. And if he's healthy for, let's say, 14 of 17 games, he's crushing the value there in the fourth round.
Yeah, Binking said if Walker can stay healthy, he's a steal. Mm-hmm. Matt said I can't buy Walker. Darnold, the Darnold point though, I hadn't thought of it. You know, we talked about that. Darnold, anytime he's running for his life, he has not been good, and I don't think that he makes it through half the season, and then we get Jalen Milroe. Hype takes Devontae Adams at the 4.8 and snipes.
Yes,
Brian, love it. Why Devontae Adams?
This is my guy, man. Devontae Adams he's gonna surprise so many people this year. I know everyone loves the Puka Nacua train. It's fine. I'm cool with that. But Devontae Adams is going to feast. Stafford loves his style of play. Like, he's gonna feed the hell out of Adams, man. I have no issue walking out of a draft with him as my wide receiver one.
All right, then Rashee Rice goes at 4.9, and Brian, you're up. At the turn, 4.10 in the 5.1. Tell us about it.
No. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. Like, really?
Sorry.
Like, look, we've had one quarterback. We're going to go into round 5 with just one quarterback taken at this point. I'm about to take James Conner just because the running back value is just falling off a cliff. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. I should be taking a quarterback here. I'd love to take Hurts to tie him with A.J. Brown, but you still have Lamar on the board. Jaden Daniels I've got him at 4 behind those Hurts and Jackson, but goodness, I don't know if I want to take a quarterback. Y'all aren't going to clear them all off, so I'm just going to wait one more round. We're going to hold off, and fingers crossed, right? I saw all he's doing right now in training camp is checking it down, but DK Metcalf is making way too much money not to see some targets, so let's go for my wide receiver 2, DK Metcalf.
What happens with Mason Rudolph in week 2?
Hey, that's all right. He made Calvin Ridley viable last year, so I'll take it. When there's only one target out there, it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
So DK goes at the 5.1. Chuba Hubbard goes at the 5.2. And Hype, you're back on the clock at the 5.3.
Yeah. I don't love DK Metcalf, just to touch on him real quick. I don't know. It just feels weird to me this year. Something feels dirty. I don't get it.
Shots fired. Goodness.
He's not a separator. Rodgers likes separators, and he doesn't do it. So I feel weird. But he'll probably prove me wrong and go crazy this year. But anyway, at my pick, what you were just talking about, Brian, the quarterbacks, it's kind of hard to not take some of these guys right now. But thinking that I'm in a 10-man and there's some value that will be way later, I'm going to go with DJ Moore. I think he is Ben Johnson. I think he's Ben Johnson's Amon-Ra this year. He's going to do a lot, and I think he's going to beat the hell out of his ADP.
Oh, wow. Okay, so DJ Moore at the 5.3. I think that's some of the earliest I've seen him go. So way to go up and get your guy Hype. He probably doesn't make it back to you. We got at the 5.4, Lamar. The second quarterback goes off the board. Lamar Jackson at the 5.4. And Dan's on the clock at the 5.5. What's it going to be?
There's a lot of different directions I can go here. So the 5th round's really interesting from this position because how I go here will literally dictate the rest of my draft in this scenario. And this is where we're trying to figure out, all right, what's the value going to be for the rest of this draft? And, just ADP wise, from what I have seen, I like more of the deep dart wide receivers later on than I do the running backs. And I think there's a lot of quarterbacks later this year that can be valued. However, I can't pass on Jalen Hurts after, they got away with it, guys. Again, I don't know how they keep letting the rule not get changed, but guess what? Tush Push is here to stay. Give me 10 touchdowns rushing. Let's go.
All right. I mean, you can't. I don't disagree. He fell to me in the Scott Fish Bowl in the second round, and I had to take him. Especially with the bonus on the per rush, the bonus on the touchdown, like the bonus on the first down. Like I'm all in. James Cook goes the 5-6, and buy-sell use on the clock at the 5-7. All wide receivers taken so far. Let's see if he shifts it a little bit. And see, Matt said he took the Josh Allen Cook stack in Buffalo. I mean, somebody's going to rush it for a touchdown.
Right.
Matthias, and I don't like all 10 teams. Come on, people. Hey, bring on the hate, baby. This is how it rolls. If you don't like all 10 teams, then that means everybody's doing pretty good because they're messing everybody else up. This is a live draft, real people. This is a simulation of how it actually happens, not how the system auto drafts against ADP. Matt said haters.
Yeah, my last 3 picks I had queued up was Kamara, Walker, and Adams. So, yeah, getting to my last completely threw me off there. Thanks, fellas.
All right, get at it. All right.
Take some quarterbacks. Come on.
Yeah, Hurts was a great pick. I mean,
thank you.
I hate the Eagles, but I can't. Hurts will be a great. I would love to walk away with him. I thought I might get him next time, but nope, he's gone now.
I was hoping. I was like, maybe there's a chance they keep falling all the way.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, me too.
This is an interesting ball. So Xavier Worthy goes at the 5-7. Buy-sell, you stacking up the wide receiver. So he's got his 2 starters, he's got his 2 flex, and now he's got a bench wide receiver. We'll see when he starts to address the other positions. Ooh, and here for me, I just don't know how I can not. I mean, I know that Terry McLaurin caught a lot of touchdowns last year, but he also didn't have much wide receiver help. So having somebody else there to take a little bit of coverage and Jaden in his second year, I don't know how the value, like Terry McLaurin in the 5th round, am I crazy or does it feel like robbery?
No, that's robbery. He's really. I'm a little nervous the way that Washington's handling this. That's the only thing that's keeping me really tentative about him. But he's in my top 10. If he plays, he's in my top 10 this year for fantasy. So, yeah, I love Terry.
I think it's the right value, Tyler. I think it's the right value for him given everything. Yeah. And look, as far as the extra wide receiver help, I don't know. There might be a linebacker who can cover Debo at this point. He's kind of fat and can't move, but it's Terry McLaurin. As long as they get him signed, and I would hope they get him signed with at least 2 weeks left in training camp, because I don't want him to walk in week 1 not having been in football shape either.
Yeah.
We kind of saw what happened with like Brandon Ayuk. What happens when you don't get that time in, and then it leads to lack of production. It leads to the potential of injury. And I'm not saying Terry McLaurin would burst his ACL if he didn't, but it does lead to those type of things. So this deal needs to get done within the next 2 weeks for me to feel good about it.
Yeah, Jason from Footballers did a whole thing about how if you miss camp, like your PPG goes down like a pretty good amount. You tend to miss games. It actually really takes a big hit on your fantasy outcome.
So let's see, McLaurin needs a contract. He does, but I think he gets done. Getting Burrow there is a safe floor, but I definitely back up early. And then we got Binking 5 wide receivers is crazy. Watch him take number 6 next. He might. So
at this point, I want him to.
Yeah.
Here, so I have a wide receiver that I really want here, but the way that this is where you got to kind of watch the board. And I feel like the way that running back position is thinning so quickly and starting to shift. I mean, David Montgomery here goes at the 6'2". So you had Burrow at the 5'9", Cortland Sutton at the 5'10", Jaden Daniels at the 6'1", David Montgomery goes at the 6'2". It makes me worry that some of my running back targets probably don't make it back around to me, and it's a pretty distinct drop off from there. So I'm going to take I've got my 2 PPR machines. I'm going to take another guy that I think is really going to shine in a PPR format in an offense with another young quarterback. And I'm going to slightly reach a little bit here at the 6'3", and I'm going to take Travion Henderson.
Don't hate it. Yeah. Yeah. Trey's going to be good. He might start slightly slow. He'll be awesome this year.
And I got Kamara McCaffrey, to hold me through until he gets going. So buy, sell you back on the clock, 6'4". He's got 5 wide receivers. We have to shift, and that's another reason. Like, he's going to take running back there, or I feel like it. And I wanted to go ahead and get, and he does. He takes RJ Harvey with the 6'4". Brian, is there any weird worry? I've seen RJ Harvey fall because of the J.K. Dobbins stuff. Is there any worry there, or is it still RJ Harvey's backfield?
I wouldn't say necessarily it's his backfield. I'm getting healthy shares of both of the guys. I want a piece of this offense. This is, I believe it's a top 3 rated offensive line across, whether it's PFF or Warren Sharp. So, getting a running back in that thing, we've seen the research done. Sean Payton's running backs, they throw to him at the 5th highest rate outside of like any other coach. So I want a piece of it. And here in 6'4", in the 6th round, it's a 10-man league, so it's probably closer to like a 4-5 turn and a 12. But I'm okay with it. I don't mind taking the risk. We know rookie running backs, they're going to hit. We don't know, not necessarily all of them are going to break their ADP, but he's one I'm willing to take that shot on.
Yeah.
All right. So Monty goes Sam Laporta at the 6'5" and grabs his tight end. He now has his quarterback. He has his starting wide receivers. He has his starting running backs, and he's got his tight end. So now he's about building a good bench. He's got his starters. Dan comes in, and you take DeAndre Swift, who is somebody I have not been for. And Vokley, why are you in on DeAndre Swift right here at the 6'6"?
Well, it's kind of weird because I think this might be the first draft I took DeAndre Swift, to be honest with you. So it's kind of a situation where we're here in the 6th round, and I'm looking at the other running backs on the board. Joe Mixon, I'm not touching with a 10-foot pole. He's already hurt. He's old. Pacheco could be in a 3-way swing. We have no idea. Quinshon Judkins is not even under contract. Aaron Jones now has Jordan Mason to take away potential touchdowns. Everyone likes to crap all over DeAndre Swift. Oh, he ran out of town with Ben, but he still had 1,000 yards rushing with Ben Johnson that final year. He was still pretty productive. Roschon Johnson hasn't showed us anything that he can actually take over this backfield. Maybe he's annoying in the red zone, but Swift's going to catch the ball. Swift's going to be the main running back. This is going to be a much better offense. He's my 3rd running back here. He's playing in the flex. He's got too good of an opportunity for me to just kind of pass, considering the tier that we're kind of looking at, and the wide receivers are kind of in the same boat. We're all kind of the same guy. I want to see how it shakes out in the next round.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Brian.
No, keep rolling. Tet McMillan there at the 6'7" rookie, and Hype, you're on the clock at the 6'8".
Yeah. Swift he's great for your 3rd running back. I don't love him, but that's fine. Like, there's potential in that offense. Although Ben Johnson loves 2 running backs, so do not skip on my boy Roschon. But George Pickens, I'm going with him here. He's gonna do awesome things this year on my Cowboys offense. So I think this is the year he really breaks out. We're getting to play with Dak and someone like CD on the field with him. So yeah, him being my 3rd wide receiver feels like a complete steal for me.
Matt says Pickens scares the hell out of me. Let me tell you this. I'm in Hype. Pickens was my debate there between Travion Henderson and George Pickens. That was my debate at the 6'3". Hoping he would make it back. I should have known he wouldn't, but how it goes. Jameson Williams goes to the 6'9". And here we go, Brian, rounding out the end of the 6th round and entering us into the 7. Who are your guys?
Well, I don't know. I got to pivot. I was going into this cool, like, all right, look at me. I've got my 3 stud running backs. I've got consistency there. Let me shoot for the high upside, the crazy, just the DK Metcalf. Low floor, really high ceiling. George Pickens, I was going to pair him up. Give me the Chaos Brothers there as my 2 wide receivers. But, we don't get to have that segment. Thanks a lot.
Oh.
So we're going to go ahead and grab Waddle here because he was going to be my 2nd pick. PPR, I think we're talking about Tyreek Hill taking a fade back. Well, with no Jonnu, someone he's going to absorb some targets. We've seen Waddle finish in the top 10 before, so he seems like an easy grab here in PPR.
Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, look, it happened, okay? I promise. I saw the stats. I had to relook it up, but it happened. Devonta Smith would probably be my pick here. I do have A.J. Brown. It's a 10-man league. I look like looking around the draft room, I don't really see these people as being being really good traders. They're going to try and take advantage of me in some sort of trade. So I'm not going to double up on the Eagles wide receivers. Oh boy, do we do it? No, I don't want 2 Pittsburgh players. Oh my god. All right, let's go for upside. Liam Cohen's coming to town. Does madness happen? Can we get a top 8 offense from him? Give me one of just the biggest smiles we've seen come out of the draft, I think, ever. Give me Travis Hunter.
All right. Okay. Travis Hunter goes to the 7-1. Save me a little bit of headache since I already have BTJ, and I was considering it. Judkins goes to the 7-2.
So wait. We got Rice and Judkins on the same team. Can we just look at that real quick?
Hey, look, somebody does not care about their off the field shenanigans. Okay, it is what
Justin
it
Tucker
is.
going over here too once we get to the kickers.
Yeah, his team is cell block 9, bro.
Goodness.
That is not.
We got
Yeah.
man. I was hoping JMO would fall. He didn't. Waddle needs to stay healthy. Wait, is this a mock draft? This is a mock draft. Binking. This is a standard 10 team. 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex, tight end, kicker, and defense.
PPR.
PPR. Love Hunter in IDP. Had a case for the 1-1 and rookie IDP formats. Agreed. The new talking about big dynasty Big Mac. The new meme machine. Good.
Yes.
All right, Hype. You're on the clock here at the 7-3.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like me and Brian have a lot of the same taste in players. So I thought he might take this guy and he didn't, and I was really happy. But I'm gonna take Chris Olave here. There's a lot of upside there. It's a little scary, but there's so much upside. There's rookie quarterbacks. If Shuck is there, they like to lean on their wide receiver 1. So why not? He's not gonna get sent to the hospital anymore, hopefully. So
probably the best gamble you can have is your wide receiver 4.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Pickens might be just as risky potentially, but I see a huge upside for him.
Yeah.
But Olave, I love the pick. It's just, do you have the stones to do it? But here in the 7th round, it's a pick you can gamble on.
Exactly. I can live with it in the 7th. Yeah.
So we got Joe Mixon going at the 7-4, and Dan, you're up at the 7-5. Who is it?
Well, first of all, Chris Olave has been auto on 7th round, so I hate you for that. But yeah, I totally agree with the pick, by the way. So basically, I was looking at two guys right here, and we're getting to the point where we're going to take the step from PPR viable, getting a lot of volume type of wide receivers to the guys who are going to be more big play oriented, maybe need to have a bust out unexpected season. So the last guy on my list who kind of falls in the category of, I know PPR wise, I'm getting 14 plus points out of you on most weeks, given how the offense is centered around you. That's Zay Flowers for me. So Mark Andrews is getting older here. Lamar Jackson's been getting more comfortable each year in the Todd Monken offense. Zay Flowers is a great separator, a great route runner, and we still haven't seen the best out of him yet. So that's the other thing I really like about him with this pick. There is still some upside to go here. So that's why I go Zay Flowers there in the 7th.
So Zay Flowers, the 7-5. Devonta Smith finally goes to the 7-6. Lining out Matt's wide receivers, and then Buy-Sell U is back on the clock at the 7-7. 5 wide receivers plus RJ Harvey. We'll see who is, and then he takes his tight end TJ Hawkinson off the board at the 7-7. And now it's me. And this is the arena of the draft that I hate. Like, most of my targets are before this arena and then after this arena. Like, I've got my deep grabs, I've got my early grabs, and it's like this middle tier that's real fuzzy for me as far as players that I want. And so I'm just going to continue to dive into a position that typically you end up going through. I've got 2, as you said, it kind of older running backs that are going to get a lot of work. So maybe one gets banged up, maybe something happens. And I'm going to pair again with a rookie quarterback, and I'm going to take Memphis royalty right here and take Tony Pollard with a grimace. Ugh, I don't know if I like it
this late. Why not?
Yeah,
he's fine this late. Yeah.
So 7-8, Tony Pollard goes off the board. Chris on the clock at the 7-9 takes Jordan Addison. Now we're at the turn. Johnny Main with the 7-10 and the 8-1.
Team 2 is going to be upset they missed out on Addison.
To touch on the Zay Flowers pick. You mentioned, it's really funny. You mentioned 14 points because I actually, this year I started something that I kind of came up with called the impact rating, which for like running backs and wide receivers, it's how many times they score at least 14 points a game. I kind of counted them as qualifying at like a 60% like played games rate, and Zay Flowers hit not that rate. He got like I think just under 50% or something like that. But I just thought it was funny you brought that number up for points.
Well, and that's kind of the caveat of what you're looking for, right? Because if you have a baseline of 14 points a game, then you're sitting at least somewhere in that 24 to 27 range, typically speaking. So most of the times you're starting wide receiver. But again, with Zay Flowers, there's that potential of you just haven't seen it all come to fruition yet for him. And I think as Mark Andrews gets a little bit older, I think you're going to start to see more targets kind of get funneled his way.
Yeah, I can agree that it's possible. Yeah, I just like the 14-point thing. That was funny.
Yeah, so here I don't always do this, but sometimes I'll take a little bit of a defensive route, and despite the hate for the player. And I think last year he played a lot fatter than he typically does. He played a lot heavier than he typically does. And I think this offseason he worked out more. Like I think he saw it in the tape. He worked out harder. He looks thinner. And so I'm going to double up on tight end and take Travis Kelce.
Okay. Hey, Andy Reid said he looks like he's in his 20s. So
yeah.
It's because his haircut's out of the 90s.
Look, at the end of the day, if Kittle gets banged up because he's the only receiver, like you have Kelce there. So I've really solidified that position with two potential tops. I've already covered my whole starting roster and got into my flexes. There's tons of deep wide receivers that I love that I think could put up just as good value points. So I don't mind doing this right now because I don't want to go ahead and waste this pick on quarterback. Anyways. So BuySellU takes Caleb Johnson at the 8-4, 8-5. Aaron Jones. Dan's on the clock with the 8-6.
Well, now I'll finally take my 49er. Jeez Louise, Tyler was sniping all freaking day. But yeah, Juwan Jennings, look, here's the thing with the Brandon Ayuk injury. One, I don't think he's going to be back till early mid-October. Like that's the earliest he could be back by. And then I brought it up earlier. We're talking about contract holdouts. How bad was he when he didn't get to practice? And that was a holdout. It wasn't an injury. Like, how bad was he the first 7 weeks? So if he doesn't get to practice coming off an ACL and MCL injury, remember, this was not just a single ACL tear. Juwan Jennings has been the bread and butter basket next to George Kittle as far as its clutch situation, its third downs. And then we saw him do something we maybe weren't sure he was capable of last season when he nearly got 1,000 yards, and it took a while for them to really sell behind the idea that he had to be their number one wide receiver, and he proved it. And then you combine the fact that, yes, it's springtime, but all reports have been Juwan Jennings head and shoulders, even when Pearsall was on the field, looks like the best wide receiver for the 49ers. They have the easiest schedule in the NFL. Points are going to be scored for this offense coming up this year. My wide receiver 4 right here is my second flex. Yeah, I'm all about it. I'm going to have a safe floor, I know, every single season, or every single week.
Love it. We got Matthias in the chat said, how do y'all feel about Zay Flowers if he gets 2 touchdowns week 1, knowing he would only get 2 more touchdowns the rest of the year? More of a hate. Yeah, we'll see. Godwin goes at the 8-7 after Juwan Jennings, and at the 8-8, Hype, you're on the clock.
Hey, can we not take somebody I've got on my queue, please?
I'll try my best here.
Yeah, we'll see.
I feel like now you're making me nervous. I feel like if I don't take this other guy, I might not get him.
Take your quarterback and we're good.
All right. Tyler, I just wanted to point out your team is either 30 or 22. You have 2 ages on your team.
Let's go.
That's great. So you just made me nervous. I was going to go quarterback, and now I don't want you. You know what? I'm just going to go with it. This is my go. Baker Mayfield. At the 8. Guys, too much offense.
So we got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, and Baker Mayfield in the 8th round. Those are the quarterbacks taken so far. Several teams do not have quarterbacks yet. Dynasty Big Mac takes Rome Dunze at the 8-9, and Brian, you're on the clock at the turn.
I'm nervous.
No, I'm getting to the point where I got to start reaching a little bit more than I want to here in the draft. But this being a PPR league, I got to take this guy. He's coming off the injury, but all looks like he's ready for week 1. He had a 24% target share last year, and that was behind Nico Collins. Now he's the number 1 for his team. So there's lots of hype behind Drake May. So let me get his boy, or what should be his boy, my first bench player, Stephon Diggs.
I thought that was going to be Godwin.
No.
Godwin's already gone. Went at the 8-7.
Oh, yeah, he is gone.
I didn't even. Oh, yeah. Coach Chase got him. Wow. Okay.
Now I'm going to grab a quarterback here. There is a mobile quarterback that's above the one as far as ADP goes, but I'm going to take somebody who has a little bit more experience, at least in the NFL. I think they're about the same age, but give me Kyler Murray here. I really like this offense bouncing back just a bit more than where they were.
I agree with that. So Stephon Diggs is the 8-10. Kyler Murray starts out the 9th round as the 7th quarterback off the board, and Dynasty Big Macs on the clock at the 9-2. Takes Patrick Mahomes. 8 quarterbacks off the board. Do we get a quarterback run right here? Is this what happens? Well, Hype, I know you're not. You just took one, but tell us who you're taking at the 9-3.
Well, something sneaky, actually, I didn't mention about Baker is he had 60 rushes for 378 yards and 3 touchdowns last year, so he has a really good floor. It's another reason that I took him. I just forgot to mention earlier. Anywho, you didn't take the player that I wanted, thank God. I was pretty worried that Brian was going to, but this might be my favorite pick of the entire fantasy redraft season. Jacoby Myers, man.
He was in consideration. Yeah. I almost double tapped him and Stephon Diggs, funny enough.
Yeah, that's why you had me scared.
But I was like, I can't take a 6th wide receiver, can I? Come on.
Yeah, right. It's yeah, I get that. Yeah. No, Jacoby's awesome. There's a lot of things that are going very well in his favor this year in the offseason. So Gino, like the most accurate passer the last couple of years. The offense as a whole getting better. They have a run game. It'll open things up in the field. There's some players, Besh and Thornton on the team that can take some of the eyes of the defense off of them. So yeah, Jacoby's kind of a home run for me in the 9th round.
Matthiasen giving a little bit of love, says he likes the draft strategy of teams 1 and 2. Could have taken a quarterback a little later though.
It's a mock draft. I got to experiment a little bit.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm completely on that team. I'm with you there, Matthiasen.
Coach Chase on the clock at the 9-4, and we'll see who he takes. And he takes Cooper Kupp at the 9-4 in a Seattle offense, which is less than to be desired. But Dan, I know you've aired out on that already. Who's it going to be at the 9-5 right here?
Yeah, so I'm looking at this. There's 2 guys, and I feel gross about both of them. But with the opportunity they have, like after this pick, I'm probably going to be looking to go, with my dart throws, right? My upside guys. This is probably the last pick where I'm like, all right, I want one more bench guy who has opportunities headed his way that I know I can plug and play in a tight pinch in case somebody gets hurt. Feels gross. It does. But I'm going Javonte Williams. You can talk to me about Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders been cooked for 3 years. I don't know why people think Miles Sanders has something left to offer. He does not. And then they just aired out Jadon Blue for essentially being lazy. I mean, did you guys see that report of the coaching staff? It was like he's not even getting like reps with anything remotely close to the first team. And I look at Rico Dottle, who finished as the top 24 running back just based on volume. I don't think Rico Dottle's anything. Give me Javonte. I think this is offense. As long as Dak's healthy, this is going to be a higher scoring offense. This is going to be a top 12 scoring offense this season with George Pickens. So the opportunities for inside the 5-yard line carries for Javonte should be there. He's a decent pass protector, so I don't think you should just knock his potential floor for targets either. So give me him there.
All right. Yeah. I don't hate that pick. I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he's been a dynasty grab for me. Like, hey, let me just throw a 3rd round pick at it in a trade and just see what he does. It's worth that to me because he came in as one of the highest regarded running backs in that class and then just didn't he's coming off a big injury. Didn't really get time to get going and they wouldn't commit to him. And sometimes you just need tempo. Like you need some carries. It's like Derrick Henry gets better the more carries he gets, and sometimes you need that, and I think he can get that in this offense, and so I really like that pick. Then we see a running back run, Tyrone Tracy, Pacheco goes off the board. Now so sometimes in a draft, especially at the running back position, I like to stack up running backs because I feel like a running back that I get here in the 9th, 10th, or 11th round that has high upside, if they pop, I can net in a trade to get one of those wide receivers from the 2, 3, 4 range. So it's like a value pick. I want to overload a position. And I don't mind running all running back flexes, especially if they catch the football. But a lot of potential here in the wide receivers. Like I know who I want at wide receiver is going to be their next pick around. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to take Travis Etienne.
Okay. He hasn't taken any of the running back reps so far in camp, I hear, but
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what that means? He's got the passing work, so why not, right?
Yeah,
He's
and honestly,
on that team, on the backfield right now. I mean, Tootin, it wasn't really prolific as a receiver coming out of college. He can't pass protect a lick, so he might not even play just for that reason. Yeah. Tank Bigsby, we know, is a 0 in the passing game. The only guy left is Travis Etienne.
LeQuint Allen, don't brush off the 7th round pick. Come on.
I think that they want to keep Etienne fresh. That he's been with them for a long time. I don't think that changes anything. I think he is an example of one of those players that is just fallen.
We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today.